You know, in high school, while you were out partying and chasing the girls, this guy was studying the sword. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. Hi everyone, welcome to today's badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection. We're very glad you're here for today's evidence-based lesson. I'm your host, John Correa.
I'm your co-host, Mike Williver. Today's video comes to us from Lancaster?
Lancaster,
California.
He got it. Give him some kudos. This one begins with a 911 call about this armed robbery where this guy walks in and like bashes in the window on a convenience store with an employee in it at like 3:30 in the morning and then threatens her with a machete. He has two machetes on him, both of which look like they were bought at a Walmart, and is gonna threaten her. She's gonna run off. The cops get there a little while later. They couldn't find him. But later that morning, about 6 hours later, they got another call from a grocery store, a guy matching the description of the machete-wielding robber. Let's listen into their confrontation with him. It's crazy.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Do me a favor. Can you set that down for me? Set that down for me. Set it down. Set that down.
You drew your weapon.
Come on, man.
You drew your weapon.
You got the machete in your hand. Do me a favor, man. Set it down. At this point, you're not in trouble. I just need you to set it down so we can talk.
Put those away.
You set yours down. It doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, man. I need you to set that down. Come on, man. Don't do this. Don't do this. I do.
Hey.
Set it down.
Put your shit away.
Set it down, man. It doesn't work that way.
Drew yours first.
Set it down. Hey, do you have a radio? Tell everyone inside the store to get down.
Can you tell everyone in the store to get down on your radio? You drew yours first.
Please set your stuff down, man. What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. What's going on?
I'm tired of being fucking persecuted.
Okay, who's persecuting
Must
you?
be my basic fucking needs.
Okay. So if you set that stuff down, I might be able to help it.
I'm not setting them down. Those are my protection.
Okay, and that's fine. I just need you to set them down so we can deal with this.
Put mine away.
I'm not doing that, man. I can't do that.
Then I can't either.
You got a taser? You got lethal cover?
I do, yes.
All right. Come on, man. Don't do anything stupid.
Weapon drawn.
Don't do anything stupid. You have the option right now to walk away. I just need you to set that stuff down.
There's no walking away.
Why not?
There's no walking away.
Why not?
You know exactly why.
Tell me. Jonathan, what's your last name? Jonathan. Come on, man. Don't do it. Hey, go away. Go away.
Get away. Come on.
Come on, man. Yeah, I don't want him going in the store.
Hi, partner. Hey, do not go in the store. Just put the knife down. Jonathan, that's all we're asking. Put the knife down. You can just... Put the other one down.
Come on, man. Come on.
Go in the store.
Don't go in the store.
Hear me?
Don't go in the store.
Put down.
Come on.
Put down.
Just set it down, man. Just set it down. I appreciate you putting the other one away. Just set that down for me.
Yours away and I'll put mine away.
Set yours down, man. I can't do that. Come on. I can't do that. Come on, dude. It doesn't have to go this way. It really doesn't.
Jonathan, We're just here to talk to you, man. Just put the knife down and we're just gonna talk. That's it.
You came at me with a fucking weapon.
Because you had a sword in your hand.
No, it was in the sheet.
Okay, you still had it in your hand.
First.
I need you to put that down, man. Come on. It doesn't have to be like this. Come on.
God, don't go in the store. Don't go in the store.
Come on, man.
40 up.
Come on.
40 up, 40 up, 40 up.
Move up, move up. Come on. Stop.
40 up.
Stop.
Let's leave, let's leave, let's leave.
Everybody. Stop. Everybody get down.
I'm out.
That's the 40. Come on, 40 up.
Who's got a taser? Come on.
Hey, put your hands up.
Put your hands up.
Slow down.
Everybody back up. Back up. Get out of there.
Slow down, man. Slow down.
You got it. It's a thick coat, man.
Slow it down, slow it down.
Stop,
slow
stop,
down, slow it
stop. Dude, we're gonna have to.
down. Hey, keep your hands up.
Come on, man. Just
Hands on
stop.
the ground, Bobby. We need to help you out. Come on.
You gotta get up, dude. You got a taser? Try and get him in the chest. Stop, man. Stop.
Hey,
Relax.
talk
Stop.
about it, bro.
In the chest. In the chest. Stop. Stop. Come on.
Fucking steal my food. Hey,
Come on, dude. Stop. Come here.
get down on the ground.
Come here, man. You got another taser? You're gonna have to get him like in the chest.
Starting to piss me
Come on, man. Stop. Stop.
Starting to piss me off.
Here's surveillance video of it as well. He backs up. You're gonna see the guy run in then. He says, "You pissed me off," and then runs at the cops. They filled him in. He ended up laying down and briefly regretting his life choices. You can see the 2 machetes that he had. He didn't make it. Thankfully, no one else was hurt. You know, Mike, I don't know why people do this kind of stuff. But, I mean, I guess really I don't want to know. So let's think about the lessons. You know, Mike, in the beginning of this multiple machete moonwalking mayhem, we see an armed robbery, and this wouldn't have gotten to the place where the cops had to shoot him in a grocery store if this private citizen had been armed and handled the problem herself.
Yeah, we're not victim blaming here, don't get us wrong, but look, this is why, especially if you work an overnight job like this, you work at a convenience store, company policy being what it is, I mean, I would definitely violate company policy if I had this job and carry something concealed, because the only reason she's alive is because he decided not to lop her head off with that machete at this point. So if she had been armed, it would have been better.
Yeah, good for her getting out of the way. Now listen, this confrontation, what a terrible place to confront this guy. Now, obviously you were already there. He came out, you were planning on going into the grocery store, and now you got to deal with this guy who is obviously completely non-compass menace. If you could, of course, though, Mike, I think confronting him in the doorway of the grocery store, probably not your number one choice, but sometimes you just don't get a choice.
This is something that really isn't talked about very much, so I'm glad John brought this up. Listen, if you can pick your point at which you, more alliteration, by the way, if you can pick the point at which you
Prognosticate a perp?
Pick your perp. We used to play Pick the Perp, by the way. That was a lot of fun. Where you say, okay, this is my bad guy. Maybe I'm going to roll by real quick and let him get a little bit further away from that door. That's something that comes with a lot of time on the job. So think about, if you have the option, the luxury of time and where you're going to stop the bad guy, something to consider, right? Maybe let him get out in the parking a little bit more. That way he can't back into the store as he eventually ended up doing. I do think the officer did his best here to try to communicate with the guy. This guy was not to be communicated with, however.
Well, and I mean, obviously, the guy's saying, well, you pulled yours first, so I'm justified to do this. Now, did you notice what the officer just did there? He just adjusted the brightness on his dot. And let me say, I'm a big dot fan. I'm English, not Amish. But I would suggest to officers, you want your dot a little brighter than what you think you're going to need for the day. And if you get a little bit of bloom in low light, no big deal. That's a kind of little technical thing there. And eventually here, you're getting into an argument with a guy about who's justified to do what. And I did like the officer's like, that's not how this works, man. That's not how this goes. And then it gives him a little bit of time to use the radio of the employee to get everybody the heck out of here. But as to what the heck they're gonna do from here, the one thing I will say, Mike, that I really liked that he did was he maintained his space. He didn't compress the distance, and so that gave him discretionary time to try to de-escalate the conflict, and I thought that was really good.
Yep, distance gives you time gives you options. This is a really stellar job. I didn't even notice that till John said something. That's why I work for this guy. Great job not compressing this. Great job not getting in too close, because once you do, you know, especially with an edged weapon, we had a video recently where there was some boiling hot water to be thrown and those guys pushed in too close. That was one of the problems they had. Not so here. I think throughout this entire thing, right up until the end maybe, this deputy from LASD did a really good job of maintaining his distance, which is critical. That gives you more time to hopefully not have to shoot anybody. Not the way this turned out, but that is the hope, and that is why we do what we do.
I will say to the citizen who kind of just showed up on screen for a minute and the cop had to tell him, hey, get the heck out of here. You know, when you see a cop with his gun out, he shouldn't have to tell you that. You should just get the heck out of there. You should just decide, you know what, this isn't a place I want to be no matter what, and should get out of there. Now I want to say for the rest of this, that the perp's actions are determinative in what happens. Officers can do one thing or the other, but the perp is going to determine what happens. That said, Mike, this is another case that I hate the taser. The taser, because he's got a coat on here, has no hope of being effective. So don't even get your hands on it. If you've got a long-range OC spray, fine. If you've got a 40 mic, okay, maybe. But the taser here is a totally useless tool.
Yeah, 100%. And John asked me to stop saying 100% so much, so I'll continue to work on that. I couldn't agree more. I would feel very uncomfortable in this position, standing there this close to a guy with a machete he is wielding, right, holding a taser. Just because even when the taser's applied appropriately, sometimes it still isn't as effective as we would hope for it to be, as we would like for it to be. So honestly, anyone who's front line in this sort of array of deputies, anyone who's in front of that stack of people needs to have lethal out, period, end of discussion. And then people next to or just behind them, maybe they can consider getting out a taser or pepper spray or whatever. But look, this guy's jacket, end of story. Taser's useless, don't bother. Especially don't bother 3 times, all right? This is not gonna work. I think pepper spray was a better option here, but we'll never know.
This is why, if you're an administrator, when we say, oh, we need to have a taser out, we need to have this particular tool out. No, there should be discretion to say a use of a less lethal, if possible, is very useful and should be considered. But why wouldn't we get a taser out here? Because a taser is not going to be effective, and so we make our officers use an ineffective tool, especially one like the taser that when it's ineffective, it escalates the conflict, right? Because it tells the bad guy, oh, wait a minute, you're pissing me off. So please, if you're an administrator or if you are a policymaker, don't stick stupid shit like that in your policies. Pardon my French. I know I'm going to get letters about that.
We're going to get letters.
But this is the way that these things end up, and by not people who are out there doing it, but by people who are sitting behind desks. I guess that's funny for me to say as I sit behind a desk. But here, listen, another taser deployment, it's just not going to help, man.
Yeah, 100%. Damn, I did it again.
Okay, hey, give me a comment 100% if you think Mike's use of 100% is his signature phrase and we should just let him keep it.
Or absolutely. One of those two, either one. You picked. Let us know in the comments. Listen, my old agency, we merged with another agency and we got I think, a less effective pepper spray. The first pepper spray we got was a conical mist, right? So it was like, like a fire hose. The thing had recoil. Every officer and deputy and agent in the country should have something like that on them at all times when they're out doing enforcement actions. And just paint this guy's face red with pepper spray. That I can't guarantee it would have prevented from getting shot. He could have still charged at the deputies after that or whatever. But man, it buys you so much time and so many options to not have to end up shooting a person, which is ideally what we're hoping to do at the end of the day. But this I can't say enough about how absolutely worthless the taser was all 3 times. And literally, as John said, this guy says right before he charges, now you're just pissing me off. And that's actually a true statement.
Now, was this guy justified? Were they justified to shoot him? Yes, 100%. This is justified use of deadly force. No question about that. He's charging at officers with a machete. He's got 2 on him and a machete in his hands. That he's already committed an armed robbery. He's a felon. He's at least a suspect in a felony. We've got good evidence that it's him. So is this guy a deadly threat to these officers? Yes. Do they need to shoot him? Yes. I have no problem with it. And I know some folks can be like, yeah, maybe the last couple of shots were unnecessary. I really think in those, okay, you might nitpick that small, but I don't have any problems with the use of deadly force here. I think that he needed it. Thank God they'd gotten everybody out of the grocery store so we don't have any problems with bystanders and those things and the public getting in there. I think, though, the big lesson on this one is I think he did a good job of not compressing his distance, which gave him some time to try to de-escalate a conflict. The taser will escalate if it doesn't work. So don't bring it out in situations like this. Just leave it alone and have a justifiable reason why you left it alone. Namely, it wasn't going to be effective with the guy in a trench coat. When it's time to use deadly force, use it well. At the end of the day, I think these officers did cover their asp.